Tasha. Welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got Aaliyah, rock the boat style. Tasha T. Sizzle dressed out in her all white. I am loving the island look today, T. Sizzle, with the locks and the white and the rock the boat. Rock the boat. Rock. Michigan Mike, sun's out, guns out, huh? All
Guns
right.
out.
I see you might look with the baby grand in the back.
Okay. All right, John Legend tickling them keys. Morning, you two. I am very, very happy to see you two today. Of all people, damn it, let it be Tasha, Mike, and the Goon Squad. And Miss Melanie Taylor. Good morning to you, Melanie. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. From the Windy City to the Steel City. Justin Fields has a new home. Now, Tasha T. Sizzle, we're going to open the show with a little victory lap for you because last week, once Kenny Pickett was traded to the Eagles, Mike's Eagles, by the way, Tasha went into our group chat and said, you know what? I bet this is setting the stage for Justin Fields to come to Pittsburgh. And so we were like, oh, okay, well, we hadn't seen or heard anything. And lo and behold, the TEP jinx hit us right after we got off the show. The news broke that Justin Fields was traded to Pittsburgh. Tasha, first of all, your victory lap. Here's your baton. Here's your corsage. And next, let's talk about how you feel about the move. So you predicted the move. How do you feel about it? You like this move for Fields?
I definitely like the move. I just felt like, I mean, I know it's business. I get that. I just felt like they just totally disrespected him in Chicago because you see now, look what they're doing in Chicago. They're building a team for Caleb Williams.
They are.
Why couldn't you do that for Justin Fields? I mean, I've been listening to some analysts and they were saying, oh, Justin Fields is this, Justin Fields is that. Y'all didn't say all of that when he was I almost said that cuss word when he was at FIU. Y'all
Mike eyebrow raised. He was like, don't you even think about saying that word today.
y'all wasn't saying that when he was there. He was the creme de la creme there when his first and then first year in the league. It was, it's the system they got him in. They knocking the boy around. They not giving him out. Then all of a sudden it came to he ain't crap.
Right.
So right. I think him moving to Pittsburgh, like I said, it's either going to give him a chance to sit 1 year and learn behind Russell Wilson, or if he goes out there and outplays Russell, like Jarrell said, it is a stable organization.
Yes, the picture of stability.
And like now, what I think will allow Mike Tomlin to do is they've always leaned on the defense. They became offensive when Big Ben got there.
Yes, them killer bees.
Now this will allow them to go back to what we've always known the Steelers for, the steel curtain, the defense. They can go back to that because they have two viable options and offensive weapons to make up that difference. You can stop people, but now you can actually score. Because before that was the problem, they couldn't score. You had your like the Michigan teams we always complained about. We had the top stellar defense, but we could never score. A few years ago, we couldn't score.
In comes Jake and Blake Corum, and then we become, 3 losses in 3 years.
Then we become a balanced team. We got where your defense is going to stop, but then you got an offense and go out there and put points on the board. So I think this is a good move for Fields. It is a good move for the Steelers as well. And it'll keep a job off the hot seat. And he still got to win a playoff game this year.
Right. Excellent points by you. Good morning, Kenny, man. Kenny, you hold tight because I got something coming right down your road here in just a second. You see Mike with his Titans gear on. But Mike, let's start from the opposite spectrum of that. The Bears only got a 6th-round pick for Fields. After all of the speculation of they get a 1 or 2 or 3, get some heavy compensation. Only a 6th-round pick. Mike, did the Bears panic? In your opinion?
Yeah, they panicked. Closed mouths don't get fed, and after everyone was making moves, I think they were getting a little too big for their britches. I guess they thought that okay, cool, we got time, and then everyone was like, okay, well, we're making moves, and then as that was happening, they were like, oh, the value just dropped, and they got a sandwich. So that's what happens.
Wow. I mean, a 6th-round pick. Tasha, would you have held on to Fields a little bit longer to see if maybe the market increases with an injury in training camp, or would you have just gotten what you can get to get him off the roster?
I mean, it's that again. I don't like to talk about no brother. They got a brother in there at the GM. I don't know what they were expecting. They should have gotten rid of him a long time ago, but they are building through free agency. So I think maybe they're thinking, oh, 6th-round pick, okay.
Right.
Because they're basically the way they're trying to build this team now, they're building as if they're trying to win it all right now. But I don't think that's going to happen because you got a rookie quarterback in that I'm not sold on. He could prove me wrong, but
we're gonna ramp up to that conversation in the upcoming weeks, y'all. Stay tuned. Go ahead, Tasha.
I guess I'm okay with it, seeing the moves that they're making in this off season. I guess it's okay, but if they really wanted to get some capital off of that, they should have got rid of him earlier.
Do y'all agree with Jarrell's assertion that he's a good player, but he seems extremely arrogant? Like, is it off the field character issues for you, or is it on field play?
I mean, I haven't heard anything about him off the field, to be honest. Not any. You got Justin Jefferson out here in the news, but they still talking about paying him. But he does produce on the field, so that's
You got to be arrogant in that position, though. Like, I think the media is so like two-sided. Like, oh no, we want our quarterback to lead this team, but then it's like, oh wait, you're too arrogant. I'm like,
right.
I mean, I'd rather have an arrogant quarterback that can get the job done. That's what it comes down to.
Right, and arrogance will help you in tight crunch situations late in games when you got to hit that closed window, or you just got to bring your team back from a deficit.
I mean, you have to have an air of something about yourself playing the quarterback, because the divas are always the wide receivers and the cornerbacks.
Right.
You got to have a quarterback that has a little flair about him. I don't really get the arrogance. He seems like a pretty humble kid. Of course, I didn't really watch him because he went to that school, but I mean.
We shall see it. I mean, the praise and vitriol has been pretty even across the board. It's been kind of all over the place with Caleb Williams. So it'll be interesting to see how he ultimately does in Chicago, because looks like he is going to be the man. Now, Mike, who's the better quarterback right now, Fields or Russ?
Right now, I'm gonna have to go with Russ right now, just because from what I've seen. And he's seen a lot of NFL play. I honestly don't. I think Fields has talent, and I don't think the Bears helped him out at all by giving him anything to help him. So I'm interested. I love this position for Fields right now, because he gets, like Tasha said, sit back, actually be developed. You get to sit back with someone who's done it before, won a Super Bowl, learn from him, and then when your time comes, and step up. So I like this for Fields.
Tasha, do you agree with Mike on this? You like Russ over Fields right now?
I like Russ over Fields because, again, Russ did not really look that bad in Denver to me. I think it was, of course, Sean Payton's arrogant ass. Talking about arrogance. His ass. I mean, Russ was still out there producing. Yeah, he was doing the Russ, throwing interceptions, but that wasn't a trait that Russ necessarily had at the beginning of his career. It's something, he's getting older, and that's something that he may just be doing now. But I just think this is a good opportunity for, like I said, Fields to sit behind him, watch him. And if something happens, if they feel like, hey, we're going to put Fields in over Wilson, so be it.
Right. I agree with both of you on this, in the standpoint that Fields is in a great situation. You get to kind of sit back and let Russ get out there and find all the minefields, like the canary in the coal mine deal. Russ, you going out there and get busted up and get your ribs all broke up, and let me sit back, watch, learn this offense, and come in. Maybe they could do a special package for him here or there, but I think Russell hadn't lost that much mobility. Go ahead.
No,
Tasha.
he hasn't. I mean, they only signed Russell to this 1-year deal. He's taken the vet's minimum. I mean, this may be the reason why they just signed him and got Fields to back him up so Fields can learn, and they're trying to make Fields the quarterback of the future.
True or false? Both quarterbacks will be on Pittsburgh roster next season. Not this season, but next season, after this 1 year.
I don't know. You don't know, because what if Russ gets out there and actually cooks? What if they say, okay, we're going to extend him? Because I think, again, I always think it's situations. I think it really depends on where you are.
Right.
Because
let's start out 8-1.
And look at what they did to Flacco. They put a stick in his back, and here he was getting the return of the comeback player of the year. I think it's situational. Russ could get out here with a decent Steelers line and perform, and then they're always going to have Fields as a backup. Because
on top of that, like you got to take into account how much as Fields getting, So like that's the whole point of Russ being up there. So if you got Russ doing even mediocre job, but Fields is still learning and getting better year after year, I'm gonna say, hey Russ, let's get you for one more year. We'll give you your max out salary, whatever you want, to have your like farewell tour,
Right.
and then Fields will be ready after that.
I think Pittsburgh is in an excellent situation, and shouts out to the Steelers for starving out the Bears, because had they made this move before free agency, it would have cost a lot more than a 6th-round pick. And like whoever is the backup, you have the best backup in the NFL right now, as far as somebody that can plug and play and get you through a 3 or 4 game stretch, because we know injuries will happen. Now, late last night, I don't know if Mike must have caught wind of it because he's rocking his Titans gear today. But late last night, some news that should have the city of Nashville on fire this morning. I'm in a great mood when I saw it this morning. And yes, Kenny, man, you see him with the shelf outfit on. Let's get to it. Yes, the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs have completed a trade for arguably the best cornerback in the NFL, L'Jarius Sneed. Now, the Titans are only giving up a 3rd-round pick in 2025 and a swap of 7th-round picks. Now, once Sneed passes his physical, he will become the highest paid cornerback in NFL history. Mike, we're talking Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, Lloyd Cushenberry, and now L'Jarius Sneed all in one offseason. Your thoughts on this move for the Titans?
Yeah, I mean, this is a whole Titans that we haven't seen. I mean, I can't even remember since making moves in the off season and getting everybody excited for it, filling in the gaps right before the draft of like what you need and that you can afford. This makes the draft even more in tune to watch, and yeah, it's excitement. I guess comes down to it. I want a new jersey now,
Right. And you said something and I don't know if it was in the chat or if you texted this to me during the first wave of free agency when you said, yeah, scoop all you can now. That way you can have a vision going into the draft. With them filling so many holes, now you can look at specific places like, okay, we get our left tackle at 1. Getting Ridley does kind of give you some room to maneuver and shore up the defensive line, give Jeffrey Simmons some help. I am loving it. Martrice checking in. Rand said, let me show y'all how to ball with a budget.
Hey, Treese, I'm going to call you after this. I got something to tell you, Treese.
I'm going to call you.
How she said, Mike?
I'm going to call you.
I'm going to call you, Trace. I got something to tell you, Trace.
Now, Tasha, let's put you in the hot seat real quick. Last week, you gave the Titans a B+. Does this move us into the A category? Keep the guns out, Mike. Does this move us to the A category?
Because I'm finna go on and sprinkle a little salt on this game.
Sit up, Mike, because it's time to fight. Sit up. Here we go.
Y'all
still have some salt, y'all.
Y'all still ain't got no O-line. I know they got you can draft. I get you can draft. Y'all gotta get stability on that offensive line.
We got O-line help, didn't we?
Yes, we signed Lloyd Cushenberry. We got a starting center. They picked up y'all's right
yeah, we
guard.
took San Francisco's players.
Yeah, we got San Francisco's guard in free agency. We're going to
when you start speaking French. Oh, you right.
I had to dust it off.
You see us? I had to dust it off. Tighten up and tighten down.
Sorry.
Now,
okay, I'm still gonna give y'all a B because y'all still ain't put it together to work. I didn't see all those traits. I'm sorry.
I'm speechless, Mike. I'm turning it over to you. Really, Mike?
I didn't see
a B.
I said a B+. You act like I said a B-.
Now, me and you was in honors classes. We didn't do B+. We did A's. We had on that white robe. You know that.
We was in AP English and got those extra 6 points when Miss Millstead was teaching us. But when Miss LaCrone took over on account of the scandal from Leslie Millstead, then we started.
Mike, was sleeping with her drama student.
She was like really one of the first.
Seems to be the norm nowadays.
Right. She was one of the first cases of a teacher having an inappropriate relationship with a student that went to the news. It made
she was. It went to the news. Mike, were there beautiful teachers when you was in school? Because all our teachers was old.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I remember being older
Right,
with
that would have been some
glasses.
geriatric foolishness back in the 90s when we was in school. Like, what the when these new OnlyFans teachers pop up out of no, you know what? Let me digress. All right. Um. So, Mike, where do we go now? And I'm saying we because me and Mike is Titans Nation up in here. Where do we go now? What are you doing in number 7?
Like Tasha said, you got to still continue rebuilding that line. Like you got Pollard, who's kind of like, I don't know, he looked kind of shaky last year. Is he a good starter? You know, you got to definitely double down on your offensive talent.
Yes.
Because if your quarterback can't get it done with good talent, then he's not your quarterback. So now you got to put it to the test, kind of like what you did to Mariota. Like you're like, oh, you could throw the deep ball. Okay, here you go.
Right.
Oh, you can't throw it. Okay, got it. You're out.
Right. The accuracy issues were mind-blowingly shocking, but that's what you get when you come out of a system like Oregon. Now, what Tree said they was a whole couple too. They were. He was like driving her car on campus and stuff. Like she didn't even the little boy that was messing with Miss Milstead. They didn't even try to hide it. Like
And
Stevie Wonder.
before Jim, what was his name? James Vanden. It was somebody before him in the class before us.
See, that's Tasha with the scoop. It's an A with free agency. We are grabbing go alt at 7. I'm not mad at that. And Mike, to your point, Kenny, Mike agreed because he said that Notre Dame, I believe I'm quoting this correctly, that Notre Dame, you don't even have to watch the games to know that they put out great offensive line talent. It's almost like getting you a tight end from Iowa or a defensive lineman from Michigan. You don't have to watch the tape. Says DL Michigan, all right, let me take him. He's going to stop the run and get after the quarterback. Rand Carthon. What does it say about Amy Adams Strunk, Tasha? Because you've been following how Mike Vrabel tried to form a coup and get this man thrown off the job. Amy put her foot down and said, if I have to choose Rand or you, I'm choosing Rand. And Rand has brought in a plethora of off-season talent. Should Amy Adams Strunk be getting more credit than what she's gotten in the past?
I mean, has always been my take on Amy. Once her father died, and she was in, y'all remember he flipped a bird that's
He will. Yes, I remember that. That's when the Titans was whooping folks.
I really think once she took over, I really don't think she was that invested in the team, which
That's
is
true.
why the Titans had that slight decline, because I really don't think she was interested. But now I think when Vrabel tried to put her on Front Street, try to make her seem incompetent, she says, I'm here ready to show you. She went out and got a competent GM who knows what he's doing.
Thank you, San Francisco.
You're welcome. And she's letting him do his job.
Yes.
In the past, they haven't had, to me, competent GMs. What was the one with Steve McNair and all in the heyday?
Floyd Reese.
After Floyd Reese, it's just been kind of like, because Tasha, they did what?
No, go ahead. I'm just saying I'm so impressed that you're stringing all of these GMs together, but she ain't no Titans fan, but she know our stuff just like she know the Niners. I am loving this. Keep going. You cooking right now.
Then you had, old 50-50 at the helm trying to run things. Then you had a slew of GMs that I just think were too vested in the coach. You let these coaches have too much control at sometimes. Sometimes you hire a GM for a reason.
Right.
And let them do their job. So that's what I think Amy is giving her input. But once again, I think she's hands off because she hired a competent person to do the job that they're paid to do.
Right. I love it. And Martrice said it best. Amy is standing on business in 2024. She bets on black too. Rand Carthon, brother, you could be purple for all I care. You bringing in L'Jarius Sneed, you bringing in Lloyd Cushenberry, you bringing in some running back help. Now, all we need you to do is to nail that draft, and we off and running. Kenny said, let that have been Dre, Rob, and Vrabel, and we wouldn't have let that happen. Those are the two people who traded A.J. Brown to Mike's team and made them Super Bowl contenders. So if I see them in the streets, it's on site. But we gonna fix that. Now, this is gonna lead us into Mike's segment here. So we're gonna sit back and let Mike cook for a minute. I'm curious to know that if this breaking news puts the Titans on his list or moves them up or down this list, let's find out. As we turn it over to Mike for his free agency power rankings, powered by May James Coffee and Wolverines _ Comic TX.
All right. I will say I'm gonna put a disclaimer on here. I'm taking out the Super Bowl contenders, the last year. So I'm taking out the 49ers, I'm taking out the Chiefs, as I think they don't have to do as much work as everyone else. We'll talk about the 49ers on a different day, but I think both teams are actually doing decent
Shade.
work. But we'll talk about
I
that
ain't
later.
said nothing wet about the Eagles. Nothing. And here you go. Here you go.
Well, you can't say nothing about the Eagles, but I'll talk about that here in a little bit. I got number 5. I have the Texans signing defensive end Daniel Hunter. I think that's a great collab on the opposite side. Now, man, the Texans are going to be doing some work.
Yes.
Watch out for that AFC South next year.
Yeah.
It will be a definitely a flip side of what last couple years have been.
Yes.
Man, it's going to be some competition there.
Yes.
I will say I have at number 4 the Falcons, and I know Tasha's going to say what. I think the acquisition of Kirk Cousins is a changing organization. You have Bijan Robinson. I think that's what they were waiting for. I think that's why he was kind of on the slope last year. I say if he's on your draft, pick him up first round. That's my opinion. I think that's going to be huge for the Falcons. At number 3, I do have the Titans. They were my 4. They're moving up to number 3 with this cornerback. They're building on the offensive line. They're building on the defensive side. They got Pollard. I'm not sold on Pollard, so I would look at the running back situation if it does fall like round 4 or something like that, round 3, round 4. That would be really nice to see Corum on there.
But have a fullback in Tennessee. He
they
definitely
don't do
benefit from a fullback.
There you go. Some type of power back would be helpful. He does need that. So on top of that, yeah, Titans have been doing work. We got Ridley, so now that still does open. I think they're playing chess right now, which is really cool because in the draft, you got teams that are coming to you looking for you. Oh, I know you need a wide receiver. I'm gonna want this much and this much. Now they get a little playing time. So I'm gonna go with number 2. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. You got linebacker help, so we can definitely stop the run this time. We got Devin White now. We got Garner Johnson back. We got Devontae Parker, re-signing people. I think, man, it's a nice day. I see them being NFC championship contenders for sure. I don't know who else is going to be there with them. And then at number 1, I got to put the Ravens up there because they filled the spot that everyone thought that they needed filled. They didn't run the ball in the second half at all against the Kansas City Chiefs, which is one of their weaknesses.
Right.
And then they signed Derrick Henry. That's huge.
That is huge. I like the list. What's
going on? Honorable mention the Jets. Honorable mention the Jets.
Hey, if Aaron Rodgers' Achilles is fully healed, y'all got smoked because that defense was phenomenal. And Garrett Wilson is truly a number 1 type receiver if you can get him a quarterback. Now, let's go to Jarrell's assertion. He said Kirk Cousins' 1 playoff win is impressive. Mike, is that the most overblown stat in the history of NFL stats, or is there some validity to that?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last time or last week or whatever. I'm like, we're in the age of Brady to Mahomes. It's hard to find a playoff win when you got these people beating you out.
Those are not playoff wins; those are Super Bowls. Like him making almost $500,000 and only having 1 playoff win.
That's the same with Dak Prescott then.
But hey, I'm all there.
No, Dak ain't catching no strays in this segment.
When it comes to that slander, y'all know I'm the drum major on that slander.
What happened to Klinger?
On the Cowboy slander. But I just think paying Kirk Cousins, an older quarterback coming up off this injury, he didn't go to the doctor that old Aaron Rodgers went to. I just think the way everyone hypes him up, making him like he's some really good quarterback, he ain't trash. Now let's take that off. He's not trash. I just don't have any faith, trust, or belief in a Kirk Cousins. I just don't. He hasn't shown me anything.
This is going to be a great tag team match throughout the season with Tasha and Jarrell versus me and you on the Kirk Cousins train. Now, a lot of people agree with Tasha and Jarrell. They just don't. the lack of playoff success compared to the money. But my thing is, if you're a finesser with your agent game, then
finesse on.
wait a minute. He says, let's take this a step further. Kirk Cousins is cheeks. As we say good morning to Sheila Hastings, we categorically deny those accusations.
They don't need him to be great.
Man.
They just need him to be better than Mariota. Like, come on.
But
hey, Jarrell, I need you to make a TikTok about this one.
I mean,
you know I'll be watching your TikToks. I need you to make one. Go ahead, Tasha.
With a quarterback like that, so you rather have your organization, a la Steelers, continue to have like winning seasons and nothing to show for in the postseason, like the Cowboys as well. Like that. I just don't trust him, and I don't believe in him to get it done when it needs to be done, because he's been in the league how many years and he's never gotten it done.
Do you trust Purdy?
Yeah.
Okay. That
Because
was a sincere question.
Good morning, Stiana. You do trust Purdy?
Yeah, because of what is around him. I don't trust really what's look, you can give, how they say, you give somebody something new and they don't know how to play with it, they don't know how to treat it. Kirk Cousins has had weapons. He's had decent teams, especially up there in Minnesota. What did he do? He threw in costly interceptions. When it was time for him to stand up and show that he's worth this money that they're paying him. I just do not trust any team that is led by a Kirk and a Cousins. Remember, I told y'all last year, I said he's selling y'all wolf tickets. And what happened? Y'all held that ticket up and all kind of dog fur fell off of it because it was a wolf ticket.
Oh, y'all need to go watch quarterbacks on Netflix. You will fall in love with one Kirk Cousins.
Because it shows his personal side, his, everything he does off the field. That's supposed to make you a good quarterback on the field. You have a lot of people that are good people that don't know how to produce when they need to produce. And he does not produce when he needs to produce.
Now, Mike, we got some backup coming in because I love my Martrice Elaine Hastings. She says, I know Pee Wee quarterback's better than Mariota, so if that's the standard, Kirk is the golden boy. Let's put this in perspective here.
But like she said if Mariota is the standard, she didn't say the average quarterback.
Now, right, but what we're saying is Atlanta hasn't had even a decent quarterback or even anything close.
Right, because Marvin, he is Teresa's right. He is a huge upgrade over Marcus and Mariota.
And I'm gonna give y'all a little credit. I think he's better than Matty Ice, Kirk Cousins.
Hey, Mike, this is progress. This is progress.
Yeah.
Now, Mike,
moving on.
This is progress. Did you hit the lottery?
It's a screenshot.
No, man, Mike just be cashing out. He said, I got condo on my neck, girl. I'm cashing out.
Cashing out.
This the Airbnb.
Condo on my wrist, y'all. I'm cashing out. Hey. Riding around with that Nina. Kenny Man is enjoying this.
Smoking on
Good morning, Stiana. Good morning, everybody's checking in. I agree with Martrice. She's the tiebreaker, damn it. You could do so much worse than Kirk Cousins. He was leading the NFL in passing before he tore his ACL last year. He was about to be MVP. The man wears gold chains. The man drives a minivan. That's who you need on your roster. The man looks you in the camera and asks you, did you like that? When's the last time someone asked you if you like that? I don't care if it was a meatloaf they was cooking for you.
Didn't even get that at Chick-fil-A.
Tasha, don't do it. Tasha, don't you do it. All right, Mike is making noise. Mike in there like, I got 2 phones. Oh, Birdman, I'm flying in the weather.
Oh, Mike, you're in the Airbnb?
No.
Hold on, wait a minute. Jarrell is said, hold on, Tasha Matty Ice won an MVP and went to the bowl.
Yeah, he did. And I will admit, my coach cost him that championship. So, yeah, you got a point, Jarrell.
Run the ball, Shanahan. Run the ball. Oh, my God. We're going to talk about Shanahan and running the ball a little bit later when I feel like trolling. Y'all notice that Justin is conspicuously absent today, Mike, because he know his Chiefs just got worse and the Titans just got better, so there's no slander today. Where you at, Justin?
He's waiting for that NFL script.
Right. He's trying to rewrite because the Titans, when we open that new stadium, we will be playing in the first Super Bowl there. You heard that here. Now, Mike kind of alluded to this. He threw your lifeline a little bit, Tasha, with his statement, but I want you to elaborate on it. Now, he said, I have a disclaimer that I'm leaving the Super Bowl contenders off of my list because they're already the standard, which I get that. I understand. Natasha, I want to go dig a little deeper into that. As a 49er fan, as a 49er follower, do you feel comfortable running it back as is? Was there that big of a talent gap between you and the rest of the NFC for you to feel like, hey, we just need to run it back, make a couple of plays, and we're right back in the Super Bowl?
No, I think we got lucky because, like many other teams, our offensive line is shiitake mushrooms. Because if you got big Trent Williams out the game, we're done. You cannot keep Trent Williams been in the league 47 years. You cannot keep relying on one player to carry your entire offensive line.
Right, right. Taylor Lewan. Yeah, that didn't work for us either.
So I think we got a little lucky. I would like for us to get another, I'm not going to say decent because Purdy is decent. I would like for us to get another quarterback because I think he may get to the point where he starts resting on his laurels. We need a little competition in that quarterback room.
I love the way you're thinking. Mike, it sounds like she ain't as sold on Purdy as we thought.
No, I mean, I am, but you know how you get people who get to a certain point and they feel like, oh, I don't have to do anything. Remember, I said he's good because of what he has around him. We have a lot of injuries. Debo was always injured. You know, you're gonna have to give Ayuk some money coming up here.
A lot of money. He was all pro.
Right. We need an offensive line. You cannot keep depending on Run CMC to run. He's injured, but he keeps going out there, and but eventually his body
phenomenal in 2023. He was one of the best players in the whole league.
We got rid of Chase Young. You're gonna need somebody else to come in at end because again, Bosa is a beast. But how much are you gonna keep relying simply on Bosa? We got rid of Armstead. You're gonna have to start plugging in some holes. But to me, the biggest thing to me is that offensive line. And I think we need a backup quarterback. And I think we need some defensive ends. We need an end.
Tasha, to your point, if you go back and look at last year's playoffs, the teams that were able to run the ball when they wanted to run the ball were the teams that kept advancing. Look at Detroit with their two-back system. You look at Baltimore before they stopped running the ball. When Mike said on the first drive, just run the ball, and they stopped. He said it in the Super Bowl after that first drive, just run the ball, and they didn't. Yeah, Andre Dillard is gone. Why don't y'all get Andre Dillard, the worst free agent signing in the history of the Titans? He's available, Tasha. You want to replace Trent Williams with that piece of trash? All right. Now, Mike, you came short of saying that Philly was going to be better than San Francisco. You're a lines maker. Let's say you're on Pickwiser or MGM right now. What's the line on a neutral field between Philly and San Fran as currently constructed?
Well, let's just say if I was in Vegas right now, I was telling Stacy this. They have Philly as plus 1,500 to be Super Bowl champs. I would put $100 on Philly right now to win the Super Bowl right now.
Now, y'all need to listen because he did this with the University of Michigan last year. Don't roll your eyes because his name is Michigan Mike. He put a futures bet on Michigan and they won the damn natty. All right? So take that for what it's worth. You want a grand piano? Listen to this man.
I mean, I can agree with that too because Hurts was hurt last year. It ain't no way around that.
Right.
He's had off season to heal,
and he shaved.
AJ Brown is whatever reason he was angry. That you need to let that go. Stephon Diggs Jr. Let that go.
Oh, we were going to talk about that next week, but y'all, that's called a tease, right? We're going to get into these wide receivers because there's an influx of some great ones.
And to Tasha's point, Jason Kelce retired finally. And I say finally because he was great for the organization, but it's like, man, you were the main problem that we had on the offensive line causing the penalties. Like, how are you the center causing false starts? Come on, man.
Because you can't go unless you go. You the one with the ball in your hand. You control the ball. You control when
he doing the little twitching thing. Like, man, stop.
But he's the king of the tush push. Hopefully the new center can't get that kind of push because that's an illegal play and it should be banned from the NFL.
No, they already passed it for next
season. Because man, did you see Hurts got Saquon quads? All you need to do is put a California raisin in front of him and he's gonna get 2 yards. That's not fair. That's just not fair.
That's not fair.
Shut up, Mike. Right. Big Diva Brown, we miss you, AJ. You know how many people got to burn that damn jersey? I got to wash my car with that jersey now. I thought you was gonna retire Titan. Thanks a
I
lot.
done told you.
Kenny
I
with
done
the
told you
game. He
about
always
buying.
updating the pictures.
I done told you about buying jerseys. I done
Yep.
told you just get
Especially
the
as a
t-shirt.
Titan.
I
Come
even did it
on.
with Derrick Henry, and now he gone. I'm the Titans killer when it comes to jerseys.
I told you stop buying jerseys. Just get
Mike,
the
what
shirt.
jersey we getting this year? Who's staying? Like Jeffrey's safe, right? Jeffrey's safe.
I ain't getting nobody's
Nah.
jersey but Jerry Rice. That's it.
Yeah, just go after the retired. Buy another Eddie George. How about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go retro. Big Bo. Now
Or
Stephanie
McNair?
says,
You
"Nah,
don't have a
bro. You know
McNair?
damn well ain't nobody retiring from us. Stop it, Steph." She always comes in with her splash of reality when it comes to my Titans fandom. But
I
she
mean,
loves her Titans
I
too.
think Jeffrey Simmons could be in for the long haul. If the Titans perform and do well this season, I think y'all can keep Jeffrey Simmons locked in. Because he's what? He's been in the league, what, 4 years?
Yeah, and he's already got his big payday, so he's going to be around for a while. But so we thought that about AJ. Now Titans fans checking in. Woo, Lord, can we get the final divorce papers on AJ Brown? It's been years now, right, y'all? It's time for us to stop being Kanye West when it comes to AJ Brown. It's over. We can't Kanye finally done moved on from Kim K and got a new lady. Bought her a Porsche the other day. At least that's
They
what I
just
saw.
look the same.
One of those shade room things or whatever. Y'all, they got me in the Instagram watching all this foolishness with these crazy. Let me digress. Oh, here he is. What's going on, Justin?
Not peekaboo, Justin.
What you think about them Chiefs?
Here's Johnny.
Look right. Here's Johnny.
Red rum.
Right. What you think about them Chiefs now that we got your boy L'Jarius Sneed? Now, Mike, let me ask you this. You had Baltimore at 1 and Philly at 2. I was really intrigued by this free agency list. I didn't know where you were going to go with this. Who will make the bigger impact this season, you think? Derrick Henry in Baltimore or your boy Saquon in Philly?
I think it comes down to the vision of Baltimore. You know, everyone thinks like, oh, okay, they'll run the ball more. Okay. But like, will they? We also thought they were going to run the ball in the AFC Championship and they didn't. So like
Derrick ain't gonna let you not run the ball though.
Well, I agree, but he's not the one that's doing the handoffs. He's not the one that's calling the play. At least in the Eagles, we have an identity and we've had it for years that our running backs are going to get touches either in the backfield or they're going to catch it, on a screen or out the flat. So I'm gonna go with Saquon. I love that move.
I kind of agree. And maybe let me be transparent with y'all. Maybe it's some King hate for not wanting to re-sign with us. Maybe it's a little shade from a jaded ex fan, maybe so. But the Saquon's ability to catch out of the backfield and his ability to take some runs away from Hurts to keep him healthier, no pun intended, that just makes them so dynamic. This guy here can get 2,000 yards from scrimmage in that Philly offense, and you get the Eagles. I mean, you get the 49ers. I mean, not the 49ers, the Commanders twice and the Giants twice. You always split with Dallas. You halfway to 8 wins right there. That's not even counting the teams in the AFC they're going to beat up on. I'm really worried about Philly. Tasha, you don't look so worried.
The one word you said, the key word in your whole soliloquy, healthier. Saquon is often injured. Now, he played last year, but I think, by him having the franchise tag on him, he was like, I can't get injured. I can't pretend even if I am injured and hurt, I got to get out here and play because I'm getting ready to dip. I think he already knew he wanted to dip.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
You think? I mean,
rhetorical.
You literally leaving shit to go to sugar.
Right. I mean, even his daughter was like,
Mike,
"Oh, does that mean we're gonna win now, Daddy?"
She should.
You see what I'm saying? So, you're leaving a dysfunctional at this point. Who would have ever thought the Giants would be a dysfunctional organization? I mean, for God's sake, you won Super Bowls with a crackhead out there being the best defensive player probably in the history of the NFL.
No, not probably the best defensive player in the history of the NFL.
You don't know we talking about LT, Lawrence Taylor. Look it up. But
from sugar, right.
Because he even got caught smoking it with some crack. He went beyond, but I
in the
digress.
locker room.
But I digress.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Don't you? But I just wonder about his health. But maybe because he is in Philly and they do have a better team, maybe he won't.
I'm worried, Tasha.
Maybe he won't get injured. And like y'all said, the thing that separates him from the king is his pass catching ability.
Yes.
Derrick Henry never really had to do that.
Right. He wasn't asked. So do you think he can do that in Baltimore? He wasn't asked to do that at all in Tennessee. But Tennessee lacked creativity and imagination on offense when they got Derrick Henry. They didn't put him in many situations.
We don't know.
No, Mike, you have a question from Mr. Glenn. Eagles had a great offseason, but did they fix the coordinator issues from last year, Mike?
I think the coordinator issues came down to scapegoat. Like everyone was pointing fingers at Tasha's point. There was just a lot of injuries on the team. And so everyone just gave up. Like when you have that, don't point no fingers. Just be like, do what you did 2 years ago and fill in some gaps, offensive line, continue doing the offensive line, have a running back. Well, they did that. They need to get Hurt some help on the offensive line, continue that. I think they're fine. I think they're great position right now.
Is this statement accurate or foolishness? They're all fighting for second place. From Justin.
They're
the champs. I mean, that's what you do. When you win, you get to stay up top. And just like the Michigan, it's just like, hey, like it's whatever.
We there till we ain't.
Yep. It's the same. Even the Rangers. We talk
about
baseball too.
Team, y'all. He's swell. We got to rep.
That's what we do in the AA. So, Justin, we're going to leave this up here for you because, yes, you're right. Everybody's fighting for second place until somebody knock your boys off. We got to give you that flex right now. Now, Steph, Lamar was two-stepping on IG 6 hours before the Henry announcement. Lets me know he's going to have a time on the field with the king. That is true. He was boogieing. Hey, Lamar was like, hey, I ain't got to run the ball 472 times.
No, talk is cheap. No, I ain't going to give him that. Nope. Next.
You disagree?
No, I'm saying I'm not going to give them that. I'm not going to try to be hype when they had it, right? In the AFC Championship game, you over here, just my thing with Lamar is that he has all the talent. When it was time to show up and just ball out,
he got lemon booty.
You just stopped. Like, come on,
pick up a cherry by the stem.
That was your chance, man. Come on.
Lamar, let me just come out and just be real with you. And really, Stephanie, I'm going to just let this post up there because I was going to take a soliloquy to say this. You're a choker right now, Lamar. I love you. Yeah. We bet on black, Juneteenth and all of that. But, bro, it is what it is on that field. And you could be Creanese. As long as you get me to the Super Bowl, I got love for you. So, forget all that ABOB. You're choking, bro. You done held the team hostage. You got your money. You've had 2 number 1 seeds, and you blew both of those home games. I don't want to hear nothing else about no Lamar Jackson until he gets it done. Now, let's go to another quarterback. One of my favorite quarterbacks in all the NFL. His name is Dakota Rain Prescott.
It is Rain Dakota.
I practiced that this morning and still did it wrong.
His name is Rain.
Steady wrong.
I got it wrong again. Damn it, Tasha. I'm trying. I'm a Cowboys fan too, and I keep on messing up the man's name. All right. Earlier this week, he kind of did a restructuring of his deal. The Cowboys moved his $5 million roster bonus to a signing bonus, which freed up $4 million in cap space. So now instead of a $59 million cap hit, it's just $55 million. Oh, yeah. We're going to really change the fortunes of our franchise with that $4 million. Oh, we going to the Super Bowl now. Baby, we got $4 million to spend and no free agents available. I digress. But let's do this. All of the talk all offseason and even before the offseason were, should the Cowboys re-sign Dak? Should they extend Dak? Is Dak this? Is Dak that? I want to come from the other angle this morning because nobody's asking what Dak wants to do. Hell, he has all the leverage. He has a no-trade clause this year. He can't be franchise tagged. He can literally pull a LeBron in Cleveland and Miami going into the last year of his deal, holding his team hostage to become a free agent. He can do that this year. Now, is that risky in football to go into the last year of your deal because you might get hurt? Yes, it is. But if he hits the market, there will be an arms race for him in a league that's devoid of quality quarterback play. Mike, let me start with you. Should Dak Prescott want to stay with the Cowboys? That's the question.
Should he want to? I mean, he's been treated kind of like a king in Dallas, so I would say so. I don't think. I mean, on the flip side, for Prescott going to a different organization, a little bit more or less heat will be on you because it's a little different being a Dallas Cowboys quarterback than it is anywhere else. You won't get the same heat if you were the Falcons quarterback, let's say.
It's the most powerful job in America next to the president.
Okay.
It may not be the most powerful. It has the.
It's more visible.
It's the hot
Yeah.
seat.
Yeah.
Kids, I think more kids right now know Dak Prescott than Biden. And we're not going political. I'm just making a point there that it's a highly stressful and visible job. And Mike, I categorically disagree with you on the fact that he's been treated like a king. You highlighted from your own brother picked Tony Romo over Dak, and Tony Romo fumbled an extra point that
I
cost him a playoff
ain't
game.
never took made a glass over Dak. Ain't that kind of clanger slander happening?
I'm talking about 2 weeks ago, 14 days and 23 hours ago, your blood brother sat right here on this show and picked Tony Romo over Dak Prescott. That's the kind of love that Dak Prescott gets in Dallas. You know this, and I know this. Don't troll us. Don't do that to Cowboys fans today on this beautiful sunny day here in Dallas, Texas. Don't do that. You know that this fan base has turned on Dak. They blame him for every damn thing that goes wrong with the organization. The defense gave up 375 yards of offense in the first half, but Dak was blamed for the Green Bay loss. The Cowboys fan checking in just in time. Shamika, should Dak want to stay with the Cowboys? Because y'all kind of ungrateful. I ain't an ungrateful fan. Are you an ungrateful fan, Shamika? Tasha, if you're Dak, do you want to stay in Dallas?
I'm kind of like with Mike. They treat him like a king there, even though his performance on the field is not saying as much. But I think if you put Dak in a different situation, I mean, I think he would perform better. I just think it's just too much going on in Dallas. And then, like I said, you got his brother out here keep running off at the mouth. Shut up, diarrhea mouth. Pull
you know
your
what?
lips.
He should get the same smoke as Patrick Mahomes' brother because he's always causing trouble in the news.
Pull your lips too, Tad. Don't nobody want to hear you. They ain't here to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody coming.
They are not here to see you, Otis. They are not.
So that part right there angers me because it's never you. It's always the outside people around you that's causing ish in your job, at your job. I think.
Now, Tasha, I want you to speak to this point. Shamika Nicole, who is an avid Cowboys fan, says, you know good and damn well Dak didn't perform to par. Dallas is a hard market to please. The Cowboys were the number one in scoring offense last year. Mike, how is that treated like a king?
I mean, he is. They y'all, because I think the way they look at it, what else is out there available? Who else you gonna get?
See, that's why Dak has the leverage. You know what? This ain't the 70s and 80s where the song says, I don't care about those other girls, just be good to me. No, Dak. You are the starting quarterback for America's team, the most visible franchise in American sports. The people here, yes, the Cowboys have fallen short of expectations. They have. Dak Prescott has had some horrible games, especially against the 49ers, their contemporary, the team that they're always going to be compared to historically. Now, if you're in Dallas,
why is it always Dallas and San Fran?
Because they're the bar setters in the. Sorry, Mike, but you got to sit this one out, Eagles fans. It's the 49ers because of their history from the early 80s to the catch to the balance of power switching from the 49ers to the Cowboys, back to the 49ers to the Cowboys, like the championships, the pedigree, the Hall of Famers, the owners. They're on a collision course.
I ain't seen no Cowboys in NFC Championship game in a while, so. It seems to be more of a 49ers Eagles thing, so.
Go ahead, go cuss him out like you do me. Go on, I'm waiting.
You know what, Mike? Now it's time for me to roll up my sleeves and get to cussing and fussing. The Eagles, look, the Eagles are Ronnie DeVoe. You ain't Johnny Gill. You are not Ralph Tresvant. You a background dancer, Philly. You got one Super Bowl in 376 years.
And the
Stephanie
most
said, Mike, it
recent
might be time
too.
for you to exit. She so now,
In the
now
most recent too.
that does count because I used that with Michigan over Ohio State. So yes, I'll give you that. That does count. But Mike, let's be real. You got about 3 Hall of Famers in the history of your franchise, and one went to Green Bay and got his Super Bowl there in the late great Reggie White. You didn't do right by Mr. Eagles himself, Mr. Randall Cunningham. You blew that defense of Buddy Ryan in the early '90s when the Cowboys was stomping y'all. Now you went to 5 straight NFC Championship games, and Rundy Barber is still running with that interception down the sideline in the vet. I don't want to hear about it now. Mike, why would you
wait a minute? You said he running down he closed the vet down, didn't
he shut the vet down with that interception?
he? Y'all Eagles fans need to be glad he did that because the vet was a damn dump.
It was, and it killed Michael Irvin. Y'all killed Michael Irvin. He landed on his neck wrong, and it hit that coke side of his brain, and he was done. Now she says, "Oh my, Mike said he ain't sitting out there." Right? Mike was like, "No, y'all." That stuff. He said, "I woke up early." Like, yo,
not the coke side.
Mike said, "Watch this." Morning, AP culture. You just in time for the shenanigans. No, recently, I mean, Eagles fans don't feel disrespected. It's we're the Celtics and the Lakers. It's San Fran and it's Dallas. And even if there's an occasional, y'all like the Nuggets.
Historically,
y'all
yes.
y'all stuff right now.
In the past 10 years, no.
Okay, next topic. All right. All right, now you can come back from that. Next topic. So wait a minute. Let me get your answer on record. So should Dak stay and extend, or should he push this to free agency next year? Either one of
Who
you.
you asking?
Either one of you.
I mean, I think
It depends, right? Like we're talking about, like, do you want to be in the spotlight? Yes or no? If Dak likes the spotlight regardless, then you should stay in Dallas because at least you're relevant. But if he doesn't like the spotlight, go somewhere else.
Man, if you want to win, you need to go on over to death row. That's my take on it. But I think they're going to wait till his contract, so they may get rid of him. Who knows?
All of my 35s and up will really appreciate what Tasha just said. That was a very underrated flex that she just did on Suge Knight. Tasha, let me paint a scenario for you. Let's say that Fields and Russ flame out. The Pittsburgh has no long-term interest. Let's say they let them play out the string and they make a run at Dak. If you're Dak, would you rather play for the Steelers organization? They're the only ones that can be on Dallas's level when it comes to accomplishments.
I mean, I would, because again, you don't have as many eyes, as much spotlight on you playing in Pittsburgh, because your coach is going to take all of that, and your organization as a whole is going to absorb all of that.
Right. Now, Shamika, again, Cowboy girl for life. She says Dak ain't trying to leave Dallas. As long as Jerry will keep him, he will stay. Does he need to? No. Mike, do you agree? Said no, just stay where you at, collect your money.
I mean, obviously Jerry doesn't care about winning, so.
Damn. He said he was all in though, Mike. That's what he told me.
No, I think that he need to get his brain scanned. I think a little something may be creeping up there.
Jerry, you got one more season for me to defend your ass. You got one more season because you giving them more and more ammunition every offseason to come at your neck. And this season is right. Now she done forgave you, bro.
It's true. We're in the booth.
You was just being
about money. That's it.
You was just being an Eagles fan, you know what I'm saying? But she forgave you, bro. Don't get it. Don't do it. You got to hit these streets today. We'll catch you over at the HEB in McKinney. Don't start nothing, and it definitely won't be nothing. Now, Jarrell says, don't want to sign that Bat Boy contract with Diddy. He said, no. We moving on.
Oh, that's so inappropriate.
It was so inappropriate. Thank God it came toward the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what he's talking about see, Tasha, you started this with the whole come to death thing. You started this. Now, Jerry, Mitch McConnell, oh, Mitch.
First of
Hey, let's
all,
do the Mitch McConnell challenge.
Mitch done already submitted his resignation. Now we're gonna come up off of the one long turkey neck. We're gonna come up off of him.
Okay, all right, I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, March Madness is upon us. And I don't know about y'all's brackets, but our brackets seem pretty intact right now. Now, look, Goon Squad, who y'all got winning the national title? Because I'm going to ask Tasha and Mike real quick. Tasha, who you got winning the national championship?
North Carolina, come on, raise up.
Take your shirt off.
Damn, they might lose right now.
Hey,
they got their little brother you today.
North Carolina on a whole, sorry, Damian Coates, you know I love you, but North Carolina is older than the San Antonio Spurs right now. I'll be damned if they don't win that damn national title. The youngest person on their team is older than Kenny. So
I mean, I always go UNC.
Say, who pulled your chain?
I always go UNC. Darn, there you go, Damien. I always go UNC or Arizona. They're in the same bracket this year. So, but I just pick UNC on account of the Ram because y'all know it's Aries season.
How am I first right now? Paul, me and you at first?
Mike, hold on, Mike. I don't want to talk to you about this. That's why I put this at the very end of the show. Because how the hell you tied for first and you ain't watched but 3 college basketball games in the last 10 years?
I got Purdue, I guess.
Now, Mike, who do you have winning the national championship?
I guess I'll pick Purdue because it's Big Ten.
Okay, so now he's going with the 2-time defending National Player of the Year in Zach Edey. The guy is 8 foot tall. He's Yao Ming. You saw him play last night against Grambling. And shouts out to Grambling. Grambling did put up a good fight early in that game. But he has so much size. If you don't have a plethora of big men to combat that, then he, just like he did Grambling, he got them all in foul trouble. He gets your team in the bonus early where you clog up the game because they're shooting free throws halfway through the half because you done got in the bonus because you have to foul that guy. Now that he has some legitimate perimeter shooting around him with Trey Jones and all those other kids, they are going to be a problem. This doesn't look like the Purdue of years past where they flame out in March. Zach Edey is a problem. Now, he may not be a top in the NBA talent, but this is a college basketball tournament.
Right. We're talking about the NBA.
The only team that I see with the size that can and the skill bigs that can possibly deal with Zach Edey is North Carolina. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. To that. Oh, look at this. UNC all day long. Here we go. Tar Heels all day.
Go, baby.
I think most of y'all have UNC. Baby.
Now it says it's time for Calipari to leave Kentucky, winning recruiting, but not chips.
Did y'all hear him try to pull a Saban, a basketball version of Saban?
Yeah.
You ain't slick.
Yes.
You ain't slick.
And to Mike's, that was a great catch by you because he sure did. And maybe that's an SEC thing because to Mike's delight, let's see, Kentucky 3 seed bounced.
Auburn
4 seed bounced. You know what I'm saying? They're getting bounced. Now Texas A&M did take care of business against Nebraska, but that I don't see them doing.
They're still gonna be Big 12 to me.
Right. So the SEC is really struggling after having all those big time coaches there. So it'll be interesting to see. I would love to see Zach Edey versus Armando Bacot and those bigs from North Carolina. Hopefully
He's
that's
30 years old though. I don't know. Is that safe to have a 30-year-old playing again?
Like that one dude out of Oakland, was it?
Right. We seeing people out there with grandkids out there in the tournament. Like
he got my hairline. I'm like, dang.
Advanced degree and come up with a PhD.
That's just so it should be a good tournament. I don't know how in the hell Mike be picking these games, throwing darts at the Stacy picking those for you, ain't she?
No.
Okay, he said swish with the grand piano. All right, now Tasha, I want to see if you agree with this or not. Because Mike already gave us the fingernail.
Wait a minute, Mike, you don't have a piano. Or do you?
You don't know what Mike got going on. You know it's tax season.
It's true, but no, I thought it was the screen. Like when you first came on this one, that's why you didn't hear me when I was joking on you. I said, okay, screen with the baby grand. Mike, don't tell me you got a baby Grand Liberace. Don't tell Liberace. Let me get you some rings.
Liberace.
Let me get you some rings and a
It's an AI piano. I tell it what to play and it plays it.
Right, like Dragonfly Jones.
Yeah. Hey Google, play Mozart.
All right. Tasha, you have actually had a top 5 request this week from the Goon Squad. One, Stephanie Denise Coulter would like to know who are your top 5 sports announcers, current or all time. The floor is yours.
I made my list. We're gonna start with Greg Gumbel, who I think CBS did a very big injustice when they made a glass on that and moved that man to the second string announcing for the NFL. I did not like that. Greg Gumbel is a gem. He is a jewel, and he is to be respected.
He is.
Next, this is in no order. I got Mr. Jim Nance. Jim Nance will talk
friends.
when it comes to the Masters. And then he'll say, wow, what a play when it comes to the NCAA tournament. So I got Mr. Jim Nance on there. Next, the late, great Mr. Whoa Nelly himself, Keith Jackson. Y'all know it wasn't Saturday football, college football, if you didn't have Keith Jackson yelling out Whoa Daddy, Whoa Nelly, and talking about the granddaddy of them all.
Tasha, you just gave me goosebumps with him because I forgot him on my list. You can't talk 1997 Michigan national champion without the voice of Keith Jackson. He called all of their big games on ABC that season, and he was a big proponent of one Charles Woodson. He put Charles Woodson's name out there as a counterpart to Peyton Manning that year.
He was the first person to mention Charles Woodson as a possible Heisman candidate. Yep.
Yes, go ahead, Tasha. That just gave me goosebumps. I love Keith Jackson.
The last two is the freaks of the industry. We're going to go with one, Mr. Brent Musburger. Remember when he was calling out, what's the girl that the quarterback, what's his name? His girlfriend at that time when they was at Alabama was playing the national championship, and he was like, "Oh, what a beautiful girl!" You know,
he was on that Hennessy in the booth.
Yeah, I said, what he on?
Take a look at her.
Yeah,
she sounds just like Mike.
I mean, you know, like I said, it was creepy, a little bit creepy. I mean,
right, hot Mike.
They blew it out of proportion because she was a pretty girl, but you know, you can't say nobody pretty because they're gonna be ready to say a press charge and this and other thing. Last one is the freak of the industry himself, Mr. Marv Bite a bitch while I'm wearing lace panties, Albert.
Right, Mr. Thong Song himself, Marv Albert. Now, Marv Albert is on my list.
I forgot about Bob Costas.
Bob Costas is a great one. Like John Madden, the dude from the radio call on the Titans, Mike Keith. Now, Mike Keith, before I could afford the rec ticket, the Sunday NFL ticket, back in my early salad days in Dallas, Mike Keith was my voice of the Titans to get on that Titans Online app, and I would listen to the games while I'm watching whatever local market game was playing here in Dallas. He is the GOAT. They call him the VOT, the voice of the Titans. Kevin Harlan, Damie, is on my list. Yes, I love him. Basketball. Dickie V, baby.
It's so many.
Mike Keith is the man, and he's the biggest Titans homer you ever want to hear on the radio.
I mean, the only reason why
on the flip side of the list, can we start a petition to mute
people because Mike Keith doesn't have a national.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. But in Nashville, he is the GOAT. Now, Mike, there's a name that ain't nobody said here that's really pissing me off, and I'm gonna just let you do it. Because if I do it, I'm gonna start cussing. But Mike, who are they leaving off this list that's so disrespectful?
I would say, I mean, my favorite two are Joel and Gus.
How do y'all not have a list with Gus Johnson on it?
And the Michigan Wolverines, Detroit.
Mr. Cartier glasses himself. Mr. Detroit finest, dressing just like
he does it all. Basketball, football. Yeah.
Mike said it best. He does it basketball. He does football. His exuberance, his excitement, his flair, his articulation, his comedic timing. Him and Joel Klatt are money in the booth. Money.
You tell me you went to a HBCU without telling me you went to a HBCU. When that brother talks, it's all up and through like he been joning at the student center at Howard University in Washington, D.C.
Now look, everybody know that he's a homer, right? Look, she said, I don't listen to
Yeah.
Ann Arbor. Yes, he's a homer. Yes. Fox, when Michigan playing at 11 and it's on Fox, get your popcorn ready because
Gus Johnson doing it.
Gus
Yep.
and Joel are about to show out. Yes. Thank you, Stephanie, for that. Everybody got to chime in on that top five. Some good stuff there. T Sizzle, who you shouting out this week?
I'm shouting out my boy Fast Freddie, one of my brothers.
Freddie?
You know what? Freddie actually owns, huh?
Oh no, I was just saying, who'd you say?
Oh, my boy Fast Freddie. Freddie actually owns a restaurant in Sosua Beach, and y'all, he got this hot sauce. Oh my God. Anyway, but Freddie also dabbles in like a little, construction on the side. Freddie came in and installed. You can't. I would show you, but you really can't see it. I got some mirror tint on my windows yesterday because we were going to get window treatments, but Gino thought it was tacky. So we said, we're going to tint it. And Freddie came out here, hooked your girl up for the low, and put that mirror tint on our big, what I call the Sistine Chapel window over there in the corner. So shouts out to my boy, Fast Freddie. And if you're ever in Sosua, go down to his restaurant. I think it's number 74 on Sosua Beach.
All right. Shouts out to Fast Freddie in the house. Mike, who you shouting out this week?
I got two. My first one's my dad for dropping off some homemade tamales last night.
Papa Hasso.
Shout out. Those
Are
were
they
bomb. They're already gone. Huh? Yeah. Those were really good. And then second is Rhea. She did her first steps without any hands.
What?
So, yeah, I'll show y'all the video later.
Start putting up your good shit, Mike, because it's gonna come down.
Yeah.
That just made me a little emotional. I hadn't seen her in a while because we're out of bowling season, so I haven't seen. Last time I saw her, she was just eating her little puff wheat things in her little hand.
And, just like
with the all right. Shouts out to Rhea. That is absolutely wonderful. I want to give a shout out to the sleep doctor in Frisco / McKinney, Texas. They gave me a life-saving machine. And the quality of life has improved tremendously because of that. So thank you to them, and thank you to Mike and Stephanie for making me go.
No more mouth guard.
Right, no more mouth guard, no more getting choked in my sleep. And that's pretty much all we got. And shouts out to everybody who's playing in the March Madness tournament. Hope you all win. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys in 6 days, 23 hours. See y'all there. Until then, we're out. Peace.
Go Blue.
Vamos Azul.
You already know to go blue and Vamos Azul. And it's